We're going to go from 80 to down to 10.
Yeah. Busy lives, interesting lives, lives with dukkha, lives with sukha, happiness, sadness, such a full range of experiences in this lifetime we have. And coming together the way we do for our Tuesday tea time. Different ages, different ethnicities, cultural heritage, and religious backgrounds, various socioeconomic groups and abilities, sexual orientation and gender identity, coming together in all the rich complexities of our intersectionalities, undertaking this practice, studying together and practicing together for the benefit of all beings and for this living earth, especially this living earth today, because it's Earth Day. And it's an interesting reflection of Siddhartha Gautama when he was the Buddha to be, touching the earth just before his enlightenment. And so you might see many statues, but one of the most important ones in Theravadan is the statue of the Buddha, or the painting of the Buddha touching the earth, because it's a very powerful moment in the mythology of Buddha's awakening, when he sat in meditation and he had his left palm upright on his lap and his right palm touching the earth. And in that gesture of claiming the earth, he was fighting the demonic forces of Mara, which is depicted in many different ways, and it's also thought of as just being the troubles in the mind that the Buddha claimed his place under the Bodhi tree. And Mara was producing all kinds of temptations for the Buddha at the time, all within the Buddha's mind, but Mara is parading different images before him. And the Buddha just touched the earth. And it is said that the earth immediately responded with, "I am your witness." And with that, Mara's images vanished. And then a morning star appeared. And this moment of enlightenment is the central experience that the Buddha's tradition unfolds. And so this thought of touching the earth, what we were talking about earlier, that in the Buddha's view, nothing exists by itself, that all beings are caused. Everything comes and goes. Phenomenon arise, and the existence of all things that's interdependent with each other. And we know ourselves that we're dependent on nature, on earth and air and water and fire and sun. And those conditions have to be just right for our existence to continue. And so we touch the earth. vaguely understanding that each object that arises is dependent on cause and effect. Causes and conditions come together, and then something leaves. It's all impermanent. And so we can touch upon that understanding that the world is mutual and interdependent and cooperative. And it is with that in mind that we build this understanding of nobility, of a noble environment. Remembering the importance of the Four Noble Truths and the 5 precepts. And we continue building this noble environment with our practice. So that there isn't a time without an understanding of the Buddha's teachings. And so with that appreciation from 2,600 years ago of the Buddha's search for freedom from suffering, it's been our good karma to wake up in this lifetime and see for ourselves the interdependent nature of things. Conditions come together in our atmosphere around us that creates sound coming to the ears. Conditions come together in which we have touching occurring. Our seat on the cushion, our hands touching, our arms touching each other, or our body, our hands wherever they touch. Our feet on the floor, in this present moment, touching the earth. And we can be aware of our breath. We might notice coolness at the nostrils and warmth on the exhale, or pressure at the diaphragm when we inhale and the release of that pressure when we exhale. We just use those as an anchor for our attention to be more single-pointed on, to be really present. What is the quality of the breath? And we can explore that with interest and curiosity. It helps us really stay present and not get lost in the hindrances of sleepiness or agitation or doubt, grasping or pushing away, or just attending to the moment, one breath at a time. Breathing in feels like this. It could be rough or smooth, warm or cool, shallow, deep. But this is exactly how it feels right now. And maybe we can notice the beginning of an inhale and the end of that inhale and the space in between. And when it naturally goes to the exhale, coming back to the present moment over and over again. Keeps us from telling stories, going on long thought, habitual patterns. We just bring ourselves back over and over again to this moment in time. Remembering to be gentle with ourselves. Being kind with ourselves. Returning again when we find the heart and mind wandering. Holding ourselves with kindness and compassion. Being at ease. May I be at ease. Breathing is like this. The inhale is like this. The exhale is like this. We're not constructing anything. We're being with what is happening in the present moment. Returning again and again to the breath if we get lost in thought. Or perhaps making a gentle note when thinking arises that it's pleasant or unpleasant or neutral. We're not sure. It doesn't have a quality to it. But it helps us remove ourselves a little bit from getting identified with all that thought. It's just thinking arising at the thought door. The way hearing arises, the way tasting and smelling, touching and seeing, all those ways that we make our reality through our sense doors. Mindfulness is present, awareness is present to see the beginning, middle, and end of whatever's in our field of awareness. May we remind ourselves of inclining the heart and mind toward the skillful. May we remember faith, which also manifests as confidence as we continue to watch each moment arise and pass without grasping or clinging. And energy, viriya, just enough energy to be consistent with our practice, breathing in and breathing out, and that panya, wisdom, arises, continuing to help us incline toward skillful activity of the mind and letting go of unskillful. Breathing in is like this. Breathing out is like this. Conditions arise, come to our senses, create stories and involvement around the sense doors. But with mindfulness, we can continue to be aware of the direct knowing of the experience. breath by breath, moment by moment. Often we can find ourselves fending off the temptations of Mara. The mind wanders. We lose our concentration. We're tempted by desires and sense pleasures. And we can remember this image with the gentle smile on our face of the Buddha with one hand in his lap and one hand on the ground, claiming his birthright, claiming strength against all of the temptations of the mind. May we hold ourselves in kindness as whatever struggles we go through can be held with compassion and goodwill, can be seen as impermanent, non-personal, constantly changing, with mindfulness at the fore. Embracing what arises without turning away, but having the strength to look at what comes to us without turning away. Claiming our birthright. That we may use this lifetime to be able to purify the mind stream, to be able to have gentleness and compassion for ourselves and for others. Holding in our heart's view whoever comes to mind, a loved one, a close family member, an animal, a relative, a friend. May you be at ease. May your heart rest in equanimity. May we include others in our heart. A benefactor, a teacher, a guide, a being from whom we've derived benefit. holding them in our hearts that they too may be at ease. Be free from suffering. Take care of themselves happily. May we hold others in this cauldron of our hearts. A neutral person, someone you may have seen recently that you don't know, knowing that they wish to be happy just like you wish to be happy. Seeing them happy and healthy, that they may be free from harm, safe and protected, and have ease in their lives. Letting each breath bring in calmness and ease, wishing others that we don't know to be free from harm, have ease and happiness in their lives. Those seen and unseen, those known and unknown, those in sorrow and those in joy, those enlightened and those unenlightened. May all beings everywhere be free from harm, safe and protected, have ease and well-being. Those that swim and fly, crawl and walk, all beings everywhere. Anicca vata sankhara upadavaya domino upakitawa meruchanti te sam vipasamo sukho. All conditioned things arise and pass away. And seeing this clearly with mindfulness is the greatest happiness, which is peace. Thank you for your practice. May it bring you joy, subtle or not so subtle. May the heart feel rested no matter what's going on as we really train ourselves in mindfulness practice to understand the benefits of this. The merit benefits all beings. So thank you for bringing joy into my life.